Hello, welcome to session 16 of Dreamers of Kiriak. We are temporarily back on the foundry, and we've got an Aaron, and we've got a George, and we've got a Jordan, and we've got a Stephanie. The last time we left off was it you guys were coming out of the house that the cult may or may not own. After some dudes sniped at you from a few hundred feet away. After you guys turning invisible, sliding down on a rope, or spider climbing down, depending on what you had available to you. And did you guys burn down the house? I can't remember.
Yeah. It's gone now.
It was on fire, and I believe
Gotcha.
Goras helped it burn.
It was determined that it could be more on fire, and so that was applied. And did you guys leave the dude in the fire? I can't remember.
No. We took him to someone else's house.
Yes, you guys went to the cafe bar place.
Where we promptly took it over.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm going to leave for 24 hours, and I'm going to come back, and whatever happens, happens. And then you guys decided to... You left him there, but you didn't burn that down, did you? You talked about it quite a lot, I remember.
We didn't just leave him there, did we? Didn't we take him back when we left?
Pretty sure you left him
No,
there.
we left him there.
Oh, whoops. Oh,
you did it actively. You didn't forget, I don't believe.
No, he's good.
He'll watch over it. Maybe he'll sell something.
He'll maybe find some medical attention before he straight up dies. To like
No, it was non-lethal.
A rat accidentally brushing him for 1 HP.
It's not lethal, he's fine.
He is now immortal and cannot die because he was dealt non-lethal damage once.
He's fine.
If you are plummeting hundreds of feet and you have your friend deal non-lethal damage to you just as you hit the ground, will you survive?
Yes.
Of course.
That's a hell of a loophole.
You just gotta get that, just the right tick.
Could you just non-lethal punch yourself in the face?
I see no reason why you couldn't.
I'm pretty sure you just have to dump a bucket of water on the ground, and then you land in the water and you're fine.
I think
There we
you
go.
and your friend both have to midair suplex each other non-lethally so that you are intentionally hitting the ground with each other.
There we go.
Non-lethally.
Just put a moving train beneath you. That nullifies all force. You guys, you guys then went back to the cult through the museum entrance, correct?
I know we were going to. I don't know if we actually
I
did.
don't think we arrived.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going
You-
to handle at the start of
You
the
announced intention to do so, and you said your method of doing so was going to just be normal travel. Let me check what the time is. Oh, my calendar's a wee bit broken, but it is 8 o'clock at night. It's April, so there would be... I love it. Today is April, not a number, is what it is. Something broke. The passage of time is somewhat arbitrary. We know it's 8 o'clock at night, at least.
Time is an illusion.
It is. And unfortunately, you have no illusionist mages in your party.
Oh.
So it is very dark out, because it is April. So by the time you come back to the museum, the visiting hours will be very much over. I was not considering the time of day during the last fight. The guys trying to snipe at you should have had a disadvantage, because it dark out. That will show me to, not consider the verisimilitudinous tools that I have tried to set up for this thing.
But wasn't it still light out before we went to the tavern and hung out there for a good long while?
Oh, you're probably right. It was probably light out back then. I forgot how long you guys stayed at the tavern. You did just an hour, probably, right? Maybe an hour and a half.
There was a lot of time where we were screwing around with portals.
Yeah, that's fair. It was probably a couple hours. It was
Goras?
probably like 6
Yeah.
o'clock.
Boris napped for an hour exactly, and
Yeah.
then we were screwing with portals after that because Boris was awake for that.
so probably no need to retcon anything. But you get back, and there are not many people out and about. There are people at the cafe across the street enjoying what you assume is dinner, though. You arrive unmolested, and you catch no sign of anybody following you. What would you like to do? Would you like to go immediately into the museum?
Or is there some kind of secret knock we need to use or something?
9. You know the secret knock.
Wasn't it like the opening to Megalovania or something?
Sure, I think that's right.
I think you're thinking of a completely different game.
But that's probably what it is, regardless.
I do that.
It's a very complicated knot. Can you give me sleight of hand, please?
Gee. Okay.
You could have chosen something way simpler, and I would have not remembered and said, yeah, sure. Megalovania specifically, I have to ask for a test. Yeah, you did it. You did it, do, and they let you in. The door guard seems concerned that you're coming in through the front. Says, you weren't followed, were you?
Don't care.
Well, come in. And he tries to herd you all inside.
Is it a secret that this is the cult entrance?
Yes.
That it's the cult entrance? Yes. At least you, Stephanie, came out just during the daytime by yourself. I remember you met the nurse who was picking up the orphans. One single sharp knock, lovely. Just assert
Something
your
fell
dominance.
against the door. It's the secret code.
You don't have reason to think that any random person seeing you would think that you are cultists just because you're walking to the museum at night. Maybe up to something shady, but it is the museum as far as most people are aware. The guy that the cult is pretty well known in the city. They're always causing trouble. A lot of the time that has to do with 9. Some people know of the trouble but don't know it's attached to the cult. The barkeeper that owned the quote-unquote building that you guys visited knew about the cult. I don't imagine that he knows much more than just that it exists. It is not common knowledge that it's part of the museum. So the guy lets you in, and he closes the door behind you, and he says, we had the Watcher on guard. He came and told us that you were having a fight, and we sent out a dozen acolytes. And did they help you? Were you successful? Where are they?
Never saw him.
I see. But well, then you won on your own then, or you got away? I can't imagine that you would have run away, 9. I would say no disrespect, but I don't think that's a matter of disrespect. I think you would
A
just...
lot of them ran away. We killed a few and they just kind of quit.
Yeah, I'll hold up the 4 daggers there. They didn't all run.
How are you
nods
holding up
approvingly.
4 daggers?
He has
Two in each hand,
multiple
dude.
fingers.
Not that hard to hold 2 knives in each hand.
It just
hold them by
seems
the
cumbersome.
Yeah, he's got
It's
him
very
between
cool,
his
though.
fingers. It looks like
You
Wolverine.
just hold the tips of the blades. You don't hold them by the handle.
It's like he's holding cards, but they're blades. Says, well, the ones that ran, would you able to track any of them down to where they might have had a hideout?
It was just a bunch of punks working for the state.
Oh, that's not quite as bad as we thought then, I suppose. Does anybody require medical attention? We've had the sick bay prepped, and we had the prison prepped. But it doesn't sound as though you have anybody to put in it.
You can put 9 in it.
I
He assaulted me.
I'm not going to ask about that.
I think I'm bleeding internally, but a good night's sleep should take care of it.
That sounds utterly insane, sir.
That's what usually happens.
Oh dear. He gives you directions to the infirmary if you would like to make use of the medical supplies and the several acolytes they have on staff there. And then he tells you that dinner has been made ready for you, and he takes his leave.
I'm
I
gonna
go to get healed out of habit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there too.
You're gonna go where?
Heal.
Okay. If by that you mean you go to the infirmary, then you go to the infirmary, and they have acolytes who can spam cure wounds to heal you of your wounds and try to
I'll go
heal your
down there as
diseases.
well.
I'm missing 7 of HPs, and that's unacceptable.
They are able to restore your 7 of HPs.
I am missing 23 of HP.
That is a lot of HPs.
I'm missing 38 of HPs.
Good grief, that is a lot of HPs. They definitely can heal up 9. Just give
They
me
heal
one.
up the one with the least grievous injuries first.
Well, he's the first one to get there. He's just like, yo,
That
I need
makes
some
sense.
healing. And they
Everyone
just kind of
else is-
slap him.
Yeah, limping along, like barely gonna make it there.
Some of the HPs I'm missing is because of 9.
Most of them.
A good chunk.
I'm not in that bad a shape, so I will let Goras and Ashit go get healed. I'll just wait on that.
How big is the front entrance to the museum?
It's a facade. It's bigger than the building itself. The doorway is big enough for 2 people to walk side by side through. Even 2 people of 9 size.
Delightful. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a horse.
All
What?
right. As a paladin, are you casting
Find Steed.
find a steed? Okay. Have you found a steed before? Do you just have a steed previously? Who
I
is in
mean,
your steedable?
probably, but like, I assumed you'd make me. Oh, you just got this spell or something.
I mean, you
But yeah,
could have
otherwise,
asked.
if I had it any days previous, I would already have a horse.
Okay. Is it of a like? Is there any reason you wouldn't have a horse?
Only
Like-
if I only got the spell right before meeting the party.
Is there any reason why that would be the case?
Leveling up and then going to see the party.
So how do you ride a horse with a great big honking lizard tail?
That is a very good question.
Does your
Good
horse have a
horse.
blue hat?
No.
Well, it should.
Why?
I agree, it should.
They just look better that way.
It doesn't even have to be a literal horse. It just has to be a horse-like creature. That's a very mild homebrew I'm going to do for this.
Can 9 ride a
Within
tiny
reason.
donkey? That would be hilarious.
I would love him to ride a tiny donkey.
Can it
He's
be a
not going
horse?
to.
It may be a horse if he desires.
The horse is named Horse.
Not yours.
It's Horus. His name is Horus because he's technically a celestial being in the shape of a horse that I can communicate with telepathically.
But if his name was Horse and he was actually a tiny donkey, not only would that be funny, but we could make a lot of ass jokes.
It's
We
a
could
horse.
just make those anyways.
I'm feeling extremely dumb because I can't figure out how to just look at the item listing of Cure Wounds and just cast it from the list. I'm sure that's not actually possible. So the horse is going to gain a spell.
Okay.
The horse is my utility beast of burden. These are going to be the hit points given to Goras. Oh, lovely. The horse has no spell slots. Making the horse a level 20 wizard for a moment. If I can even do that. Hold on.
Do you not have like an acolyte lying around?
Oh, that's a good idea. Never mind. I just gave the horse 30 level 1 spell slots.
What about
They are not
spellcasting
working.
modifier?
Okay, you know, I'm gonna call up an acolyte. I don't know why I didn't just do that. I'm slow in the head.
I feel like acolyte is probably the stat sheet of the cultists. because they're acolytes.
That does make sense.
They don't really have any enemy stat sheets that are just like a really fucking weak warlock. They only have like warlock with 17 spells.
These are the staunch acolytes.
They staunch your wounds.
Deals 7 healing damage to you.
Yay!
And then 6. And the second one is going to heal Ashit. Gotta restore the spell slots. That's going to be 7 for Ashit. And I think Goras is Goras or Ashit hurting more still at this point?
That would be me.
Okay.
Definitely Asha still, yeah.
Then there's one more remaining slot between the 3 acolytes and one more for Ashit.
I like how we left on a mission, accomplished nothing, came back, and drained all of the magic.
So I've got 3, 4, and 10.
3, 4, and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry for those terrible rolls. And
Sounds
yeah. I mean, the third was not bad. Perfectly balanced, and then a 2.
I'm still missing 22 HPs.
Oof.
Sorry, I assume we're gonna rest, so I'll cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. The acolyte says we could wake more people up, I suppose. Would you like some more people?
I'm already
I'm
gone
good.
and eating.
You already left and are eating?
Yeah.
They made you soup. Yay, soup.
There better not be anybody in this soup.
It appears to be vegetable soup. Due to the vegetables in it.
My concerns stand.
Yeah.
They might just make broth out of a guy.
The vegetables could have also been people.
I can't change what level I am.
You should be able to. You should be able to go to the paladin entry on your sheet. You should be able to edit it.
Let's try
And
that.
you should be able to go to details and change your class levels.
If I tell it to roll 3d8 plus 3, is it going to add 3 to each one or 3 to
You should
the
just
whole
add
thing?
3 to the total. Nice. 2 8s.
Yeah.
It's a lot of 8. So you do a heal. And if none of you want them to wake up more acolytes, the healers are going to go take a long rest themselves to recharge their spell slots.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Among other things, like, getting a good night's sleep.
You have healed my internal bleeding. Now I just need a nice sleep to heal the bleeding of the soul.
You're welcome.
I feel like they're very familiar with soul bleed.
Probably.
By the way, you are all very talented with magic. Do any of you hear the music?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. I thought I would try. I could, if you would like, I could maybe try and make you hear it.
I really appreciate that, sir, but that is not necessary.
I like how word already got
All right.
around.
Well,
The cook also hears the music.
yes, I've met him.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
The word has been around for a very long time. They've dealt with him and his.
Oh, so
music
the
before.
the prophecies foretold of me. That's what you're saying. The chosen one.
Yes, I suppose you could say that. Yes, sir.
Very good.
There's lip balm on the table over there. We don't have much else out at the moment. Sorry.
More music for me, I suppose.
Yes. Will you do anything else aside from eating dinner?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think Solaire has anything he needs to do.
I'll find the head annoyance in charge.
You're gonna try to wake up the abbess?
Yes.
All right. She has a guard in front of her door. He waves at you. He doesn't look happy.
Are you going to try and stop me?
Well, she said to wake her up when you got back, so I'd appreciate if you'd let me do that.
Go ahead.
He rings a little bell that's attached to the other side of the door. And after a couple minutes, the abbess comes out. Hair all in a very tall, like, beehive, and wearing her luxurious and sacred bathrobe. And she says, "Oh, you're back. You
They
smell."
hired a bunch of punks from the quest board to come and jump us in your house. And they were already there when we got there, and your scouts didn't find them,
They were
and they shot
already
at
there.
the snipers.
And so you killed all of them, obviously.
A bunch.
What do you mean by a bunch?
They ran away basically immediately. Like, they still had all their numbers when they started running.
If they're a bunch of punks, that doesn't mean much, I suppose. Hopefully they'll know better than to accept that kind of job in the future. We will have to... We're going to have to put in a complaint about vagrants in the house.
The house burned down.
Well, the problem is the the powers that be can learn that we just recently purchased the house, and it might draw a connection between our sacred activities and those of the museum. Is my concern.
Well, it's gone now.
But my concern is that they were there before you got there. So they had a bit of a jump on you. Which means they have had more time to process this information than maybe we gave them credit for.
So the only reason they could be there beforehand is either you have a leak or they knew to sell you the property.
Aaron, I think Nine would probably remember that job had been posted like on a job board that they had responded to.
It's true, but we had never been to the house. So, to know that that was the cult's house, to post the job to hire the punks to go to, they had to know it was the cult's house before you people even showed up in the city. Basically exactly when the cult purchased the house.
So the acolytes we sent to help you, I really hope that you didn't
Never showed up.
Oh, they didn't show up. Well, why do you think that might be, Nine? What do you think the most likely reason for that would be?
Getting gunned down by snipers.
That does seem pretty likely. I trust that you took care of the snipers at least.
Couldn't find them.
No, we didn't. I
Well,
hid.
that is tremendously unfortunate.
Were the acolytes a bunch of halflings by any chance?
They were not.
Okay.
I don't believe. I actually shouldn't say that. That's mildly prejudiced of me. We have several halflings among our numbers, and most of them are acolytes. So perhaps they were. I do not micromanage at that level. So perhaps they were, but they would have been, dressed as. Gosh, I don't know what they would have been dressed like. Not like acolytes, I suppose. They wouldn't have had knives for certain. They or would they? Gosh, I don't know what we would have armed them with. I can't. I'm going to have to ask somebody about this. I hope you didn't murder the acolytes we sent to help you.
Well, if we did, it was because they were murdering us, not helping us.
They didn't say praise Ost by any chance, did they?
No.
Well, that probably wasn't them then.
Do they say that often?
Yes.
Well, if they would know to say that if they were disguised as something else and you were about to kill them.
I'm also pretty sure 100% of them know who I am.
I mean, they started it.
You are memorable, 9. You are certainly memorable.
Also, I threatened to burn the entire place down, 5 minutes before we went over there.
And then we did.
No, that was a different building that burned down,
Oh,
and I had nothing to do with that.
That was a different building that burned down.
No.
And I'm asking this as the DM. Are
No,
you misrepresenting the truth, or am I missing something?
I'm saying the Colts bot house burnt down, not the Colts home base, which is what I threatened to burn down when I
Oh, you
cursed
did.
no.
them. They still lost property to fire.
Well, they know who you are, so... if you could give some descriptions to Jeremiah. She points to the guard in front of her door.
Who's been standing there listening the whole time.
Yes. We'll have some assassins take care of them.
Well, we still got one hanging out in an empty bar.
What? Why
told
didn't you
us
take him
everything you
back?
know.
So what? Why
Because
didn't
you like to get the skin off of people
Yes.
before you start questioning them. And I feel like that's given you a very skewed information track before.
To a certain extent, it doesn't matter whether we get anything good from him. He can't be allowed to walk free when he...
It's okay. There's no way out of the building.
The few... What? Did you burn that one down too?
No, we kind of booby-trapped the door. If he tries to walk out the door, he'll fall into another dimension.
Or you could just fall through a portal and onto the roof like I did.
Something will happen.
She actually
He can't leave either
She
way.
doesn't seem terribly surprised by this. Please,
He
next
told
time,
us-
if you have a prisoner, please take them back to the prison.
Well, you can go get him if you want. He's sitting right over there. Just don't go through the
Jeremiah,
front door.
please go fetch the prisoner.
Don't go through the front door.
It's the only door.
He asks
Well,
for the
good luck.
address. Nine knows the address because he knows the city. None of the rest of you do.
You might want to build a little bridge or something over the hole.
I
Okay.
told him he could go free, so I let him free. He'll be fine.
Where is the address? 9.
It's called Solaire's Place. Just look for the sign.
Jeremiah, look for Solaire's place.
It has a big... Well, I couldn't read it, but there's a big sign outside.
There's a mummy out front.
Oh, that too.
Oh, yeah.
Also, there's signs of sniper fire everywhere.
Jeremiah says he's going to take a few acolytes with him, then he leaves.
And there may be snipers, so watch out for that.
Aren't they all resting? I mean, if you gotta wake them up from their nap, I get it. Important.
Why would the snipers be resting?
No, the acolytes. The acolytes.
Oh yes, they would. Sometimes you have to get up in the middle of the night. Goras, that was your name, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's
The chosen one.
That's yes. I'm sorry. I was thinking of you as the chosen one, not as Goras. Yes, sometimes professionals have to get up in the middle of the night to do work, as unpleasant as it sometimes is.
That sucks.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, I'm not entirely sure what to do next. So we have to assume that if they were already at least a half step ahead of us, and the snipers at least got away, that you probably were followed on your way back here. But if we were betrayed from the inside, I don't know that it even matters, and it makes me wonder why they haven't simply taken us down already. The exact nature of how they are ahead of us dictates what we should do next, and I don't know how to figure that out.
You should find whoever posted the job to the job board.
Well, that would have been, I probably should start micromanaging more, shouldn't I? Jeremiah's gone.
I think the prisoner said it was the big state. Or the
Yeah,
big
the
town,
government posted
something
it.
like that.
The big
yeah,
government.
that one.
It
So-
was an official job.
So you know who it was. You
The
know it would have
government.
been somebody from the mayor's office. Like individually, you think maybe we're dealing with an individual who is not working with the cooperation of the entire like we know that the monster hunters are looking for you. They probably have every resource at their disposal trying to find you.
Well, they knew where we were. And they sent punks, so...
I
don't
wish I
think
hadn't
you're
sent
playing
Jeremiah away.
Batman.
I mean, and he said big government a lot.
I'll, will you tell a guard to go look for the posting that was... Oh, I guess it probably wouldn't still be up. If they had taken the job, they probably would have torn it down with them.
Should we go get the prisoner?
Well, Jeremiah is going to get the prisoner.
Hope he doesn't fall in the hole.
He's probably going to fall in the hole. That's why he has acolytes to pull him out of the hole.
Like, that's not that kind of hole.
Well, he'll figure that out on his own.
Okay. Tell him not to sit in any chairs if he falls.
Tell him to bring an extra rope.
You could
He
have done
left
that.
10 minutes ago.
Maybe you
Like,
could have told him that before he left. Seeing as how
he
you
left
knew all
because you
that.
told him to leave while they were trying to warn him. Listen,
He's got to learn the hard way. We all did.
why don't we just go to the mayor's office?
And do what, 9? You want to slaughter hundreds of guardsmen? There are probably not hundreds of guardsmen. Maybe a dozen guardsmen out there this time of night. Slaughter a dozen guardsmen, then go to an office where there's lots of paperwork everywhere probably, and the mayor is in his home, sleeping. Not in
I'm a
his
little
office.
low on magic for slaughter.
Well, then why don't we go to the mayor's house and kill him there?
Why would the mayor know? Listen, we'll wait until tomorrow. We'll just go shake down a clerk. Find out who specifically wanted the job posting.
So you want to kidnap
our
and
way
interrogate a clerk?
I didn't say I had.
So
You
Eric,
just
go
go up-
kidnap and interrogate a clerk. That's a Solaire job.
Why are we kidnapping someone?
Because you're good at it.
You just yell at them.
So I need to go kidnap a clerk from someplace.
The sound of a distant explosion reaches your ears.
How distant?
Like front door distant.
I hope
It's
that
not
wasn't
distant.
where the clerk was.
Like museum door?
Yes.
I just walk towards it. Like, frustrated. I've been interrupted.
I literally just said I don't have magic for slaughter. Why is this happening?
Oh, we'll take a nap before we slaughter anyone.
How does the music sound?
The music is getting more rapid.
An inverse sign. It's usually bedtime.
Hmm.
He only really panics if he can barely hear it and it's going very slowly.
That is usually the time to panic. So there are many corridors between you and the front door. Would you like to start heading down those corridors, 9? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but in no rush.
Okay.
I will hide behind 9 as he walks.
All right.
There's either a torrent of people coming in who could have easily just stomped this place out to begin with, or they're afraid. In both cases, they're dumb. So I'm more frustrated than concerned.
I suppose since 9 knows the corridors better than Solaire, Solaire will just follow along behind 9 and Goras.
You find no enemy combatants as you walk through the corridors. The front door has been explosively blown inward. There is debris everywhere. All of the exhibits in the antechamber have been smashed to pieces from the force of the explosion. There are scorch marks everywhere. There are little fires here and there. The marble tiles of the floor have been pitted and scraped by shrapnel. And that's about all that you see.
Well, this seems kind of like a them problem rather than an our problem. And, it is dinner time after all, so perhaps we should find some supper and go to bed.
Oh, there's the coffee shop across the street.
We just walk out of the giant explosion hole and go to the restaurant.
Do we see anyone that might have been around to do this, or is there any other commotion, or is there just an explosion?
There are... The acolytes have been frantically, mounting a defense in the intervening corridors. They have not gone into this main chamber, though, especially seeing you guys go into it. You do not see a sign of anybody who might have done this, though there are about a half dozen passersby on the street who are, standing around and gawking at it. You think it likely the town guards will show up at some point soon, though they do not seem to be here at the moment.
So
I'm gonna
they're
yell at all
going
the people.
So they're going to interrogate the witnesses.
I think we all have the same idea, yeah.
Isn't there a restaurant full of eyewitnesses right across the street?
Probably, yeah. There is, in fact, a cafe.
Goris, steps outside and immediately points at the nearest person and said, "You did this!"
No, sir, no, I didn't.
Okay, you didn't do this. I point to the next person and just keep repeating.
You essentially get the same reaction, and after the second person, everybody else runs in different directions.
Well,
I mean, the first person does also, and the second person is kind of running as you are accusing.
Maybe you should have asked who did this.
I figured
you
if I
did
just
this.
did that to all of them, at one point, one of them would crack.
Jeez.
People are starting to come out of the cafe across the street now.
Good. Blair's going to go over and say hi.
Did you see what happened?
No, we were inside the building. We were kind of hoping somebody over here could tell us what happened.
You did this!
He just looks at you funny, Goras, and then turns back to
I
Salir.
just stare at him.
Well, there was an explosion. Obviously. I don't know.
Oh, was
There
there
was
an
a lot of
explosion?
smoke. The smoke is all gone, though, now, which I don't know. Usually when things blow up, there's a lot more smoke than that, right?
Are there any
don't know.
pieces of anybody lying around?
There are not. The guard who let you in, just went off to go to bed once he let you in.
Good card.
They don't seem to have just an actual night guard at the front door.
But it's not like they rigged our car to explode and then someone else got sent to start the engine.
So you, the one with the comments about the smoke.
Yes, did you see it?
I did not. But you consider yourself an expert on explosives?
I sell sheep, sir.
Well, how do you know so much about explosives then?
I like fireworks is all.
Is there any fireworks big enough to do this?
None that I've seen. A cannon, maybe? That's a firework,
cannon.
right? No, I was hearing just the other day they have these guns over in Viltz that they're like crossbows, but they're not really like crossbows, I suppose. They're shaped like crossbows, but they shoot fire out of them. I bet I don't know that a cannon could blow up but I don't know. He raises his glass and he chugs whatever's in it.
Now,
So tell me,
is bored with this already.
He turns
He's
around.
just going to take a pouch of gold, a pouch of coins, go sit at a table and loudly announce that whoever comes and tells him what the hell happened will get paid, and then he'll order dinner.
He's immediately swarmed by people sitting near the windows who tell him, high or low, George?
Low.
That one?
I don't know why 9 was because I do know because I was highlighting 9. You hear a lot of there was a big bang and there was smoke, and that is all you hear for a bit until one person says that they saw metal gleaming inside the smoke. And then the guy next to him tells him that he's lying because he wants the money. And he says, "No, I saw it. There was shiny metal inside the smoke." And he says he bets it was whatever treasures inside the museum that the thieves were trying to steal. The general idea you get is that the people inside the cafe did not necessarily have a reason in the middle of the night to be looking over at a closed museum instead of at their meals until there was reason to do so.
There's nothing in this fucking museum to steal.
So what makes this person think there were thieves and not a thief?
I don't know. Could have been a thief. I have to imagine something big enough to make that explosion was either a mage, in which case I don't think there's anything that valuable in there that a mage would want, unless there was maybe a magical artifact that has some kind of secret and ancient power. Yes, that's probably what it was. He was probably after that.
No, look around the museum for a big empty exhibit.
Can you give me investigation, please?
Yes.
So Lair's going to pay everybody who came over and said anything 1 gold, and he'll give 10 gold to the shiny metal person.
All right. They all immediately order a gigantic table of food, lots of very fancy drinks, and begin gambling. They try to rope you into the gambling.
Fantastic.
It's difficult to piece things together because of how many pieces things are in, Stephanie. But you're there was not exactly a really big, important exhibit that you remember. Like you spent a while in here earlier looking over stuff, trying to find things that were obviously magical so you could steal them or use them rather, put them to good use. And there wasn't anything, as far as you could tell, that was actually worth taking. And you're pretty sure that nothing of any interest has been taken or is missing.
But with a 4, I can't see just like the glaring open pedestal with nothing on it.
A shaft of light still trickles down upon the empty pedestal, which now has a bag of sand on it. No. 9, what are you doing?
Well, I was gonna watch for snipers, but it's been minutes now and nothing's happening, so
Correct.
I'm just hanging out inside. I'm letting these people figure out what happened.
Okay.
I'm just here in case something needs murdering.
Do you have any spells active?
No.
Okay. Your aura that empowers undead is constantly on, is that correct?
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
I'm just very menacing.
You are,
It's
though.
not... I also have an aura that gives everyone a +4 to all their saves within 10 feet.
Yeah, that's a good thing to remember. That's kind of
That
one of the most
also
powerful
applies
abilities in the
to
game.
me.
Right.
So I just gain +4 to every save when I get to that level, which is...
Is that only allies, or is that all creatures?
It's allies.
Gorath,
Only
what are you doing?
the undead one is.
Can you imagine? The wizard cast fireball. Sorry, the paladin was too close. They all passed.
That's how we
Gorath?
do.
That's like what Passy would do.
Yes.
Yeah, Gorath has just been going around staring at people and whispering that they did it. He's trying to see if anybody has a weird reaction to this. A reaction that's
People
less.
are gonna have a
mean a
weird
normal
reaction.
Like everybody has like the same reaction to this. He's hoping for that one person that like cracks in a different way. Like,
One guy gets really mad and
Vicious
tries to
way.
punch you in the face.
That's still a normal reaction.
but it's different.
Does a 7 hit?
Ah, you fool! You have revealed your intentions.
He staggers
I now
past
know
you
that you
because
are-
he's very drunk.
I try to catch him.
You try to catch him. He's close to 300 pounds. Can you make
not.
can you make me a athletics roll, please?
I can. I have +3 to that. That's a 7. Pog.
You catch him as he falls on top of you. You take
Perfect.
1 bludgeoning
I
damage.
got him. I got him, guys. This is the one.
His friends drag him off of you and apologize for him.
Are you all in on it?
Yeah, wait,
So there's just gonna
whatever it
glance
is,
up
we
from
didn't do
his
any of
dinner
it.
and go back to eating.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in on it. Sorry.
they're utterly confused and drag their friend outside.
He gives up immediately.
I have negative insight, so
You have outsight.
negative insight and investigation. So
Outlined. Holy shit.
I'm gonna say a half hour's passed between just various little things.
I have 12 dexterity. And a +7 to dex save.
Good grief.
What the fuck? What did I do? I should have been by the door.
What are you doing?
I don't know, if everyone else gives up, I just go back inside and find the head annoyance in charge again.
She does not have a guard outside her door this time.
Your door blew up.
She, I guess she didn't go back to bed because there was an explosion. She was, they have made, like, barricades. They have prepared these, like, semi-enchanted interlocking plates that are very easy to set up. And when they see you through the wee little arrow holes, they let you pass. She says, "What? So you killed who did it?"
No. See, I gave you all the information there is. Your door blew up.
They blew up the door and then they didn't go any further?
Nothing else happened. There's no information on who did it, what they used, or why. Your door blew up.
Well, they clearly know who we are then.
But if they cared, you'd be dead.
Yes, and that scares me more. That makes me wonder what exactly they want.
To leave a flaming pile of dog shit on your front door.
But to what end, Nine? Why are they supposedly letting us keep on going just with the knowledge that they know, that we know, that they know what we're up to?
Are none of them checking to see if anything was stolen?
Not in the slightest. They
I'm
care
the only one
absolutely
that
nothing
considered
for
that.
they care absolutely nothing for the museum. If you had any conversation with one of the acolytes beforehand, they would have told you it is all meaningless. If it had any value, it would be in the cult building itself.
I believe they're fucking with you.
All right, well, send Jehoshaphat to fetch the door maker.
Who is Jehoshaphat?
Wasn't talking to you, Nine. Jehoshaphat is sent to fetch the door maker in the middle of the night. He will not be happy.
Try
I
not to
guess-
explode.
I guess professionals do have to get up in the middle of the night.
So now you're missing what, like 15 people?
Yes.
So you just keep sending them out, and
Oh, so
Well,
you think
none of them have come back.
you think our attacker is trying to thin our ranks?
Why would they bother?
That's
You're a
what.
bunch
That's literally what I was about to ask.
Goris starts beaming and says, "Well, don't worry. You've got the Chosen One and his assistants here. Everything will be fine."
I'm going to bed.
There is a giant pile of communal food, Ashit, and if you chose to just start eating, nobody would care.
Okay.
that much gold buys a lot of food, and they spent a lot of gold on food. I didn't hear what people were saying when Ashit was type talking. Sorry.
I
Sorry.
just go to bed.
Okay, just
Or
gonna.
said something stupid as usual.
I think
Of no
Solaire,
consequence.
when Solaire's done eating, he'd probably go join the gambling over there.
Okay. In the cult, in case anybody would have, I think maybe just 9 would have known, they're keeping barricades up and they're setting up a bunch of acolytes as guards, and just kind of going to be staying at that level of readiness for the night is their plan. Solaire they are playing dice. Would you like to actually gamble or would you like to try to cheat?
I think he would just actually gamble. He's more or less just waiting to see if anybody says anything more about what went on
All
Just
right.
hang out and
across the
watch.
street than he cares about losing money.
Okay. Everyone has... Sorry, Asha, what did you say?
I'm just gonna hang out and watch.
Okay. Everybody has essentially forgotten that Solaire is the one who, gave them the money for all this stuff. They are all sharing the finest cask of brandy at this point. No vodka tonight. That's not fancy enough. And people are talking about the event of the explosion. And every time somebody comes up with a theory, it's more ridiculous than it was before. One person's talking about how it was clearly an insurance scam. That the owner of the museum probably took all of the valuables, is going to claim all of the valuables, and is then going to start a new museum with all the valuables in that one, and then he's going to just keep the process, and he's probably done it like a dozen times already. And it's the perfect scheme, and he's thinking of doing it himself. Somebody else thinks that the museum was hiding an ancient mummy that just awoke and blew its way out and is now flying through the sky and is going to lay waste on this world the next morning. And then somebody says, why would it wait till morning, dumbass? And in return, they start punching each other and they get in a fight on the floor and they're both kicked out.
Did no guards ever show up?
No guards showed up. No
The guards
acolytes
did it.
returned. You do not hear anything that you think is of any use, Solaire.
All right. Well, once he's satisfied that nobody's going to actually, say anything, he's going to head back across the street to go to sleep.
All right. How much gold did you bet throughout the games? And or silver and or copper?
Oh, I don't think he would have spent much more than 20 gold on this
Okay.
venture.
By 51.
You got 2 more silver than when you started, so it was a good night.
Well, yeah.
While this is going on, Nine went to bed.
They'll wake me if something happens.
What did Goras do?
Also to bed. He's got to
All
heal
right.
his bleeding soul after all.
Ah, shit, you ate, and are you just gonna
Yeah.
go back with Solaire after?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Then 8 hours will pass. You guys can have a good night's sleep. You have a long rest that is uninterrupted, which means no healing is automatically given, but you guys get your hit dice and everything else back as usual.
All right. Long rest.
You will wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And because the days of the month are an illusion, it is still not a number of April.
Unfortunately, I can't update my paper character sheet of this because someone took my fucking pencil.
You have no pencils, sweet child.
You don't own a pencil.
Why would I own a pencil?
Don't you work at a store where there are pencils?
What did you use? What did you do for a
First
pencil
off-
before I gave you that pencil?
First off,
Don't think if you have like a pencil allowance or something. Don't like 30
No.
people a day drop pencils.
no. First off, no.
How dare
And
you?
we can't get any pens or pencils at the counter. The office in the back where the managers work has none, and we're not allowed to take any from the store.
I mean,
So they have to personally order you any amount of pens and pencils for anywhere, including the service desk, and they will give you one.
I just meant like, buying a several
Buying
dollar
your
pack
own
of pencils
but
For
What
what?
what
for
did you use?
drawing and writing with.
What
I
did
do
you use
neither
for
of those things.
pencil before I gave you that pencil?
A pen.
You used a pen for a pen. How did you erase anything?
I didn't.
You say,
Question.
what would I use a pencil for? If you had a pencil, you could use it for this. Yes,
When recovering half hit dice, do you round up or down?
round up.
Down.
Round up. All right.
I don't know what the actual rule is, but round up.
It's down.
It probably is, yeah.
Wait, it's up for hit dice because level 1 would give you nothing. It's
Just to make level 1 even worse.
it's down for everything in D&D with rounding except hit dice. Hit dice is up.
I'm gonna call a
Nice.
couple minute break so
Alright.
I can refill my tea.
I suppose
Okay.
Solaire would have, burned a hit die before bed.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna burn some hit dice. Yep.
88 says it's Daytober.
It's Daytober of April.
It's the April. All my weird sheet plugins are better than the ones in this game.
I think the cat missed having people come over to lavish him with attention for like an hour.
Oh,
He was standing in the middle of the kitchen and crying for no good reason earlier.
poor guy.
He'll get over it. I gave him lots of brushes earlier.
This sheet says that we have passive stats for every skill.
That is a thing, yes. That's just, part of 5e in general.
My passive athletics is 17.
That's a pretty big passive athletics.
It's equal to my passive intimidation.
That's a lot of intimidation.
I'm a very large man.
Yes.
That's why I keep slapping the old lady.
I think those are correlated. I don't think that's the reason.
She seems to be immune to common sense.
When you're a witch who has a giant skull as your cauldron, and you turn snakes into dinner, I don't think you really need common sense.
You do not get slapped. Witch slapping is my subclass.
It's okay. She's got a passive 16 in survival, so she's good at surviving being slapped. She knows she can take it.
I'm pretty tough.
I love how Asha is a folk hero. What was the
Ow.
reason for that?
Ooh.
She's more of a folk nightmare.
That's incredibly fair.
I figure that the town children probably have a lot of stories about her that they pass around.
That
That's the
sounded
case. Wouldn't
really-
everybody have known who you were?
More of an urban legend.
I
I
don't think that changes
urban legend
anything.
and folk hero are synonymous.
Folk anti-hero.
Yes.
Hmm.
There's a lot of
Any hero
stories.
is still a hero.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
stories.
but
There
like,
wasn't any
peering-
cryptid.
A lot of
background.
stories about her peering into windows at night and stealing children away, which are all true.
Asha still has done things like help save the town.
Yes.
There's a lot of other questionable stuff in the meantime.
Like call lightning down on the town hall.
Yes.
Nobody notices, things like saving the day. They only notice the peering in windows and stealing children part. It's really unfair.
It helps when the stealing children and peering into windows comes before the saving the town.
That's your supply of children.
Technically, the only child I've stolen was already an orphan.
Yes, that is true. I'm like 90% sure. That guy's
Well, he said he
parent-
was.
Yeah, I can't
I mean, we
remember if
only
the
had
guy's
his-
parent was actually still around and you guys just didn't look hard
We only
enough.
had his word for it.
Yes. The next morning, the sun rises, but probably not yet because it's like 4 in the morning. The acolytes look extremely tired, as everybody was initially called to arms, and they only really decided a few hours in to start letting people, cycle out for naps. Whenever they see one of you coming, they part their interlocking barricades, which seem to be made of ceramic with little golden runes all over them. Which is a little odd, because, all of the ancient sacred stuff related to Ost is not at all nice and white and gold. You would know shit, but yeah,
They
whatever.
made this out of paper mache. They have a lot of arts and craft days.
It's really what they do, yes. So you can get around where you want and or need to. A front door has not been put back on the museum, but it looks like if any of you go that way and take a look at it, at least a new door frame has been put into place. And there's just like a sign that says, "Sorry, we're closed." They have guards who are not dressed as cult guards, but as like private mercenary-ish individuals in fairly nice suits. They're armed butlers, more or less, outside to prevent people from coming in. They cough politely and gesture to the sign with their short swords, essentially.
They're equally as effective.
More or less. Seems that somebody has swept up the antechamber, and all of the displays and the remnants of the exhibits have been put somewhere else, probably the trash. They have somebody cleaning the floors and, I don't know, maybe preparing to paint them.
So we're going to kidnap a clerk now. Was that the idea?
No, stop saying kidnap. You're adding way more logistic steps than you need to this. Especially since everything we'd get from them information-wise would be where to look in their damn office.
I don't know. It sounded like fun.
So I don't have to go get a clerk then.
We go visit a clerk and just shake them down right there in their office.
But what if there's other people around?
I am good at shaking people.
Or
Goras, can you
guards?
give me perception, please?
I can. My perception is a 13.
All right. The volume of the music shifts a little bit inside the antechamber if you move around, but you can't quite exactly place what the pattern is.
Goras will completely disconnect from the conversation then and just wander around looking like a crazy person.
If you
listening for
stand,
things no one else can hear.
if you stand basically in the center of the antechamber, the music gets faster.
Place has good acoustics. I'll enjoy the faster music.
It's delightful. Nothing happens.
Is it?
No! Goras convinces himself it's delightful. For a
He
second, he
enjoys
thinks that
playing
delightful is a synonym of faster.
Guys, I think we should come up with this plan more delightfully.
Okay,
Hat.
Goras.
I had this plan 8 hours ago. I'm waiting for you people.
Goras is having a good day today.
He's
I-
having a
I-
delightful day.
I make a
You
mental
should-
note to not expect too much.
Explain it to me like I'm me.
So aside from us being hunted now, why are we here in this city again?
You would likely remember, Salir, that the god Ost spoke through a person who was apparently formerly an orphan, though none of you remember her, saying that he desires that you overthrow the saints and that you need to do so by working alongside his cult, which is where you are now. He said they will give you instructions on what to do.
Are the saints in this town?
That's what I thought.
The saints
What I
are
was
not in
afraid
this
of.
town. The saints are in whatever their little hidey holes are in their cantons. There's the sage, the maiden, and the soldier, and then there is I think the wanderer is what they call him, who does not have his own canton. And all of that is many, 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 many miles to the west. Like, the distance from where you are to just the label of the Sage's Canton is like 840 miles. And that's the nearest one. All the way to the little label for the Soldier's Canton is like 1,700 miles.
Oh my god.
Well, we can enjoy being hunted almost anywhere. I mean, if we're supposed to be going places to go do things, then perhaps the abbess needs to get on the shtick here.
Well, they don't have a plan, so...
Yes, they have been in the process, 9, of trying to raise an army so that they can try to create a great rebellion. Which, it didn't work so great the last time somebody tried to make a great rebellion, but then, the god Ost hadn't returned to lead it back then, had he?
She can't even keep track of where her acolytes have gone. How the hell is she going to lead an army?
By hiring middle management.
So by hiring you.
God, no.
As they say, bureaucrats
General
attract other
9.
bureaucrats.
That's the new title now, Asha. He's now the general, not the nanny.
Oh no.
Oh.
These people aren't worth acknowledging as people most of the time, much less soldiers.
One of the guards standing by is very hurt by this. He thought you were his friend. Not sure why that would be.
We've never met.
He might be confusing you with a different Dragonborn.
So how is this cult supposed to help us take down the saints if they're completely ineffective?
I don't know. Money, teleportation, magic.
Well, we do have 9 now. That should be about all we need.
We should steal their cook.
You know,
He's the
if
only
we're-
other one that I've met
Well,
who can
well,
hear the music. That
We'll
means
make
it's
sure
very
to
important.
take the cook with us when we leave.
Excellent.
Well, yes, if we're going to be going for that many hundreds of miles or thousands of miles, we're going to need a cook.
Hmm.
I've got to grab my binder.
We did bring the wait. Did we bring the unending bag of fish?
You,
I don't remember. Or did we leave that for the soldiers to eat?
I think you left that for the soldiers, but brought the booze one.
Yeah, I definitely brought the booze one.
I mean, that cook hasn't tried to poison me yet, which is honestly surprising considering he's faithful.
At this point, Salonius the Law Mage finds you guys.
Oh god.
He looks extremely tired, and his beard is several inches longer than it was, like, yesterday. He stinks a little bit. He doesn't seem to have taken a bath anytime recently. He's got his eyes are bloodshot, and he's just kind of staring into the middle distance, kind of doing a little bit of a half stagger as he approaches. He's got a sack.
Did you blow up this door and fly through time?
The second one, not the first one. No, why didn't anybody tell me the door was blown up? Seems like something
flying through time.
You didn't know that.
You just said that.
I just did now. You didn't know what I assumed when it happened.
Well, you weren't here when it happened. You were flying through time.
As far as you knew, I was just in my lab, which I was.
Did you blow the door up?
No, I told you that. Keep up.
Take it up with management. What do you want?
He scratches his beard. I can't remember. I had something to give you. Have you seen my
Is it
sack?
cursed?
I just had it.
What?
You're holding your sack.
Oh, yes, thank you. He takes the sack off his shoulder, and he shoves it at Salir.
Is it cursed?
No. No, I don't think
you're
so.
out of freebies on the curse thing. I will start killing people.
If it's cursed, I didn't curse it. It would be the things that they swim through the hours. Those things I can't remember what on the tip of my tongue. He makes a motion with his hand like a dolphin cresting the waves. He's gesturing at you guys like you absolutely know what he's talking about. He gets really frustrated when he can't think of the name for it.
Does Goris have any idea?
Oh, that's a good question. 1 second.
I can roll a -2 Arcana check.
Please roll me a -2 Arcana.
The lower, the better.
Indeed. Please, -1. Oh, that's a 17, actually.
Okay. I think you would, but I'm trying to think of what you would think that they are, if you would have even any idea what based on the things that he's saying. They do not sing the music, actually.
Okay.
There were things that swam. So when you took your boat, there were creatures that did that. They crested the waves as you alongside your boat, and so you just assume that that's what he's talking about.
Ah, yes, of course. Goris just nods knowingly.
Well,
Those things, yes.
yes, they might have cursed her, I suppose, but I don't think they did. I don't know why they would. Can you imagine why they would have?
I can't imagine why. They seem just, pretty on the waves.
Well, Nine thinks that they would have, and I don't know why he would think that.
Why would you think that, Nine?
History.
I guess Nine has more history with them than I do. I should have asked him before all of it.
I was never very good at history.
There's I lost track of what you'd asked for. Salir. So there's
Yes.
there's 10 crossbow bolts, there's 10 arrows. There are 14 hand grenades. Yes. And it's like a water skin, but you throw it and it explodes like a pop, like that.
Okay.
Hold on, let me put the stuff in the Discord.
This dude fucking, like, fell through an interdimensional rift and just, like, met Skillet for 5 minutes, and then...
He tells you a couple other things that he made.
comes back with nightmarish armaments not meant for this world.
And several prosthetic limbs.
He does not seem to have any prosthetic limbs.
Do we
Well, he
have
didn't
a
need to
crossbow
put
in
them
the
on.
party?
I don't know if any of you have a crossbow in the party.
I whip javelins.
Okay, because I know Solaire does not.
I can yeet things with my mind. Does that count?
Probably.
There's a really, like, shitty, weirdly ineffective spell to, like, fire arrows without a bow.
Oh yeah. Like you like place 3 arrows in the ground or whatever.
It takes, like, 10 minutes to cast or something, and then you can be like, ha, this arrow moves now.
It's like a
One.
weird, like ranger trap thing. Yeah.
Some goofy shit. It's not good at all.
It's important.
Very ranger. I don't like when people say water balloon in air quotes. Like, did he give us a condom?
I suppose it kind of looks like that. It's an intestine. It's an intestine filled with liquid.
So yes.
It's a sausage filled with liquid. A losquage.
Yes. Cordon of Arrows is a ranger spell that does a whopping 1d6 piercing damage as a trap.
Truly the most overpowered part of being a ranger.
Was it like level 2 or something?
Probably, I didn't even check that. Second level, yes. One action.
Yeah, fucking... Do you
a
know
trap
what...
does second.
They could have
You know what
given you
level
unlimited
you have
arrow
to
works,
be.
but they chose not to.
5th level, I believe.
Yep.
5th level to do 1d6 piercing damage as a trap.
Says I was trying to develop anti-magic weapons, but as you might imagine, that was a little difficult being a wizard. It was kind of counterproductive trying to do things like that. Abjuration only takes you so far. Aberration was the problem. I misspoke. I misspoke.
I have experience with those.
I found something different, though. I found, rather than anti-magic, arcanocide. It's...
Gesundheit.
Thank you. If you strike a foe with this power, and they are empowered by magic, bad things will happen to them. Please don't test it on yourselves. It will be bad. Unless you have no magic about you.
Apply the oil onto a magic weapon.
I don't know. I wouldn't advise it. It might eat the weapon and then eat you. It activates once it activates, if you know what I mean. It does things.
So do we activate it by lighting it on fire?
Oh dear, I would not advise trying that. I did not try that. Fire did not exist there. It just didn't. That was very troublesome. Very, very troublesome.
Do you think it would be bad if I tried to move it with magic? Cast a spell on it?
If it is not activated, it should be safe. He quotes appear in the air around him as he says safe.
Safe TM.
Yes. There. I don't. It seems a little wrong to do that, but you could try.
Grenades are probably a strength weapon, right?
They are improvised thrown weapons.
Are they improvised? They're meant to be thrown.
They kind of don't exist as a weapon here, so...
Well, I can see not having proficiency in it. But, like, is it just built weird? Because if it's designed to be thrown...
It seems to be it's a It's
like
not
a
quite
lawn
a
dart
crystal.
wouldn't be improvised.
It's like a gelatinous mass that fits in your hand. It's like a blob of silly putty, kind of, with a film around it. And there's a little rune in the side, and he tells you that to activate it, you just press really hard on the rune until you feel something snap, and then you throw it at your target, and it will explode once it hits your target. Just chuck it like you would a rock.
A jelly rock.
Don't put it in a sling though, and don't do anything where you have to do anything to it for more than a second or two after breaking its bones. All of its bones are right beneath that rune, right there. You have to just obliterate its internal structure and just kind of make all of its fluids mix. That's what activates it.
That sounds like killing it, not activating it.
Well, I already killed it. I made it, you see. It was somebody else, it used to be. Now it isn't. Or it will be isn't. Something like that.
I'll take the darts. I can whip darts pretty hard.
Just yeet a dart at somebody. Watch them evaporate.
If they're magic.
I'll take
Man.
the water balloon. Quotes.
So can you just hex somebody and then whip a dart at them and explode them, or does that...
That was one of the many things I did not try.
Will it invert to the caster or the person that has the effect on it?
I have no idea. I killed the King of Magic.
What? I was just about to ask if I could meet him. That's a shame.
I guess he sucked.
And by killing the King of Magic, he was reborn.
Oh.
And
Well,
I am him.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
I am
You
the
do
chosen
a
one.
bunch of shrooms and then trip and invent a bunch of things.
You are my chosen one too now. Goras.
So yeah, that's what happened.
Were you the one that chose me originally?
I have chosen you, I will choose you. I have always chosen you, Goras. That is why you are the chosen one. As of now,
Do you hear the music too?
not in the slightest.
Craziest guy we found. No music.
Was that just like a gift you gave me, or like?
That is for you to decide, my child. Decide it with Arcanocide, please. And let me know how it works for you.
I thought you said not to. You know what? I won't trust your. I won't doubt your judgment.
That is wise.
You just told him to drink it.
No, don't.
Yeah, Chorus is like holding the water balloon.
If you
up.
would drink it, do not. If you wouldn't,
I'm already
likewise,
backed
do
way
not.
the hell away.
What was that?
From
He said
who?
after. Yeah, if
said
you
if-
drink it, you would not.
If you would drink it, do not. If you would not drink it, likewise, do not.
I see. Okay, I understand.
And then he leaves you to return to his studies.
That guy's full of shit.
That was the most sane person I've talked to in months. Finally, someone I can understand. I'm glad the cult has such a reliable resource. Maybe we should take him with us too.
How many
think they'd
people are
let
you
us?
taking?
Well, they're all very important.
Well, I don't think 9 would let you take that one.
Can we just pack everybody up and have a big road trip?
A couple of the guards seem like they would be down with this.
We've got a lot of gold, right? Let's buy a bunch of wagons. Make a
I-
caravan.
Really thought you were going to say, let's buy a bunch of cultists.
They're free.
Well, we probably should pay them.
They don't get paid now.
I didn't say pay them, I said buy them.
They run on pure fanaticism.
Is that a currency we can get somewhere?
You just sort of lie to people until they develop it on their own.
So if someone lies to me, I'll develop it, and then I can spend it to buy cultists.
Sure, whatever. Can we go shake down a clerk now?
Oh yes, the shaking. I'm good at that.
We gotta go solve the mystery of whose ass I need to kick.
That was my job back in the day. If anyone was gonna snitch on us, I would shake them.
You shook them real good until they went to sleep. They had a nice nap.
Yes. I had to shake them until I went to sleep. That was my job.
Babies only.
It's pretty hard for a baby to snitch on you. They're pretty bad at talking.
I use my telekinesis to lift one of the guards and just start shaking him. Like this. I shake him like this.
Can you do that?
I think he has a strength save,
Okay.
but it's gonna require a little bit of creative interpretation, because technically I can just shift them 5 feet.
Okay. You try to shift him 5 feet upward in
I would like
constant
to try to
increments of
shift
like
him-
a centimeter,
Yes, exactly.
and then back down.
So it's a strength save. That's a fail.
He freaks out as you start shaking him in the air.
I set him down. Don't worry, I'm not going to shake you until you fall asleep. But I did that for hours, and then people just fell asleep.
There's
It
a look of
seems relaxing.
abject horror in his eyes. Says, I didn't do anything. I promise I'm not the snitch. I'm not
Oh
the
no,
traitor.
that's why I set you down so quickly. I'm sorry.
What do you mean,
You're all
the
good.
traitor? Are you saying there's a traitor?
Hasn't that been what everybody's been talking about for the last 8 hours? That is what everybody's been talking about for the last 8 hours. Somebody betrayed us,
walk-
obviously.
I walk up to the
Sleep.
guard and I stare at him with one eye wide open. How do you know so much about the traitor?
You already shook this one. Shake the others.
I could, but aren't we supposed to shake a clerk?
Yeah, let's.
I could shake these guys all day, but like,
The guards start looking nervously at each other. So if you are...
did anyone take the hand grenades? Because I took the water balloon. I think that's all because I interpreted. I guess this is a DM question. He said, "Don't do anything but throw it after pressing it."
Yes.
Would it be possible for me to press it and like catapult it, or is that too long of an action?
Are you saying you're going to use magic on the activated anti-magic device?
That is why I asked him.
Right,
whether
that
or not
is-
It was, yeah.
Let me take just a brief look at Catapult.
I feel like you shouldn't cast magic on them ever. That's sort of what they do.
Hmm.
Unless you want to grenade yourself.
I mean, I could just stick to oil. It's fine.
You did not ask him whether or not that would be possible.
Yeah, I
It
asked him.
happens instantaneously.
Okay, so it activates right as soon as you press it. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. And he
I
did
mean,
say
your
not to cast
catapult is instantaneous, right?
them. Yes, it just
Yeah,
you just want.
You think that the timing would work perfectly fine.
Okay.
Since he said
Well-
there was like a couple seconds.
Dead.
Doris is going to try it. TPK us, and it'll be great. All right. Cool. I guess I'll take the hand grenades too. So one quote unquote water balloon and 14 hand grenades.
All right.
Exactly what you should be carrying.
Yes, the most magical member of the party should be carrying the most anti-magical substance.
Scrawled on the side of the water balloon are the words, "This was the king."
I thought he was reborn. Interesting.
He's full of shit. Can we go now?
Maybe he was speaking. Well, you just don't understand. I understand, though, of course. But yes, we should go. I have finished packing away my hand grenades and the king.
As you say the king, a voice whispers into your head, "Have you ever distilled a man?"
What?
Have I? Should I roll for that?
Goras does not know what the word distilled means. Maybe? I don't know. Would Goras know what the word distilled means?
Goris turns to Salir and says, "Hey, Salir, I don't know what this word means, but have I ever distilled a man?"
Did Wrath own a still?
He did not.
No.
I'd ask Antonin because he'd know more about like my recent efforts.
I'm
but
not sure whether you've ever distilled a man or not. That would be a very strange thing to have done. So I'm thinking Ashit's more likely to have distilled a man than you are.
I hand the water balloon to Asha and I say, "Here, maybe have you distilled a man?"
So I have no idea the voice in his head said anything.
Correct.
So I was
correct.
just handed a
holding over
water
balloon.
sausage and asked if I have ever distilled a man.
Yes.
Yes, the king wants to know.
Well, if I've never actually distilled a man, I'm going to assume he's asking some sort of terribly inappropriate question. And I'm just going to look at him and
Go
give
on,
it back.
take Oh, okay. I guess not then.
Have
No.
I ever distilled a man?
Not to your knowledge. Actually, you know what? You're a witch. You of all people probably have come the closest. Have you ever, in your potion making,
I may
taken a
have
man
distilled
and distilled them?
I may have distilled, like, if that's a thing that you can do, I may have distilled, like, woodland creatures, probably not people.
Then that's what you would think. You have not.
Have I ever distilled, like, a squirrel?
Yes, without question.
Then I'll tell him that I've distilled many squirrels. Why do you ask?
I don't know. This one's just. I start speaking just down to the water balloon in my hands. Oh, this one's distilled many squirrels. Does that count?
The voice does not speak.
Interesting. I don't know why the king would want to know about distilling people.
Have you
but-
ever been distilled?
Oh,
I'm getting my horse.
I've never been distilled. No.
Goras is in rare form today.
Yes.
He's talking to the anti-magic water. I'm out of here.
No, I have not been distilled, Your Majesty.
It is not a pleasant process.
Does he sound like the guy who gave us these things?
It does not.
Your Majesty, do you hear the music?
But there
No.
remains something of you afterward. After a fashion.
I don't think he can hear me. I shake it a little bit.
It sloshes.
Put it in my pouch. Well, that's weird.
I want him to find the most batshit inverse lunatic chaos deity. And ask them if they hear the music and have them go, "No, only crazy people say that." What are you, dumb?
I can't. What I personally can't wait for is for Goris to fall off a roof again and explode all of the grenades in his inventory at once, and the water balloon, since all of those are impact activated.
New campaign. No magic. This is the world now.
I would love to see him fall off a roof and just explode into inverted goop. Well, we need a new fourth party member now.
If there would ever be a fitting end for Goris, I think that would be it.
You'd probably get back up as, like, a squid.
Creating an anti-magical fallout by accident.
Beautiful.
All right, to the clerks.
I'm already on my horse. I just came back.
So, what does your horse look like?
It looks.
Because this is a celestial spirit, correct?
Yes.
Is it still a celestial spirit with you being a anti-paladin or oathbreaker,
I mean,
whatever you're calling it?
There are evil gods. They're evil
Yes.
celestials.
So, do you have an evil celestial?
No, I have the exact same celestial I had from before.
Was it ever a good celestial? Like, remember,
Yes.
you are not a...
It
like,
was good.
You are
but
not
it's
a cleric.
functionally-
You were not given a horse by a god because you're such a good boy.
No, it's a celestial in the same way like a Pegasus is,
Yep.
where it's not like an angel celestial.
So the sheer force of your soul caused the attraction of this steed. Can you describe this steed for me? What kind of a steed would devote its service to Nine? What kind of a horse would keep that service after Nine became the Nine that he later was? How many teeth does it have? Are they very long teeth?
What?
They got longer after I fell from grace.
That makes sense.
It is an exceptionally muscular horse, but not to the point where it looks like it's any slower because of it. It's just like... it works out a little too much.
Understandable. I would too if I was Nine's horse.
Because I weigh 250 pounds naked. It's a lot of man. Personality-wise, I think it's just sort of like... yeah, man, I was sort of there when all that fucked up shit happened. Weird, huh? Alright, what are we doing?
Also understandable.
It's the celestial that's been in Nine's corner the whole time, so breaking his oath would make any kind of actual deity go like, yeah, you fuck yourself. But the horse is so low level that it has to be a horse.
Understandable also. This is just its life now. Ow, stop it, cat. Alright, I'll upload a picture of horse later.
Oh no.
So you're back on horse.
Inside.
Inside.
I just came back in because no one else went out.
And what did the rest of you do?
Walk. Yeah. To walk beside the horse.
Where are you going?
To the clerks. I'm just gonna follow Nine because
Okay.
I assume he knows where he's going.
Well, I'll follow if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I think Solaire would just follow Nine since this is his time.
I still don't think we should interrogate him in his office, but if you want to not kidnap someone, then I guess.
I am not afraid of the law enforcement in this city. Nor am I afraid of the people that came into this city and decided to harass a bunch of idiots in robes. So...
Is that us?
no, that's the cultists.
No. No, I mean, are we the ones that harassed them?
No. We didn't blow off their door, get rid of all their people instead of just assaulting the place. They have the combat strength of an angry toddler. Anyone who's too afraid to go in on that isn't very powerful.
Are we looking for a specific clerk?
You
Whoever
have
does
no
the
reason
job.
to think of a specific clerk.
Well, I don't. Oh, that's lovely. What the frick is that?
It is what passes for a horse.
Are you drunk?
The horse is drunk on ambition.
Did you draw that with your mouth?
Does it have a beard or?
That's-
That's
that-
its teeth.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it's long teeth that got
I
longer.
see. Excellent.
I don't know where its eyes are at.
They're kind of like a frog's, but inverted.
I was gonna ask that.
Saber-toothed horse.
So they're like a frog but inverted with floating eyebrows.
Are
And
his-
Something is very wrong with the start of
You
his
know-
rib cage.
This is Taylor's campaign. Did you expect it to look normal?
Are his eyes like one in back of the other, and one is facing left and one is facing right?
It's a biblically celestial horse.
There we go.
Perfect.
His name
Needs
is
more eyes.
It's really beautiful.
So yes, Goris will follow horse.
I mean, I guess you guys get to the clerk's office. The clerk's offices are quite a large building. It's the town hall. There's lots of guards out, just kind of chilling. You have to go through this long avenue if you want to actually see anybody, and the very first pair of guards ask you what your business is.
Inquiries about job postings.
They point at the job board like 5 feet away.
No, about the step before that.
What do you mean? What's the step
posts?
before that? Posting. You want to post a job.
Who do we talk to about getting a job on there?
Any clerk, I suppose.
That's who we want to see.
All right, then. You can go.
All right.
And they let you pass. Down the avenue, you arrive at a beautiful lawn that is completely dead. Just...
What?
Sorry. It may at some point have been a beautiful lawn, but it is now dead.
I didn't catch that. Thank you for catching that. That was terrible.
There are statues of brave war heroes. There used to be statues of brave war heroes. They've been smashed because they were, in fact, rebellion leaders, and that's not acceptable.
Salir, hey, are those the saints? Keep hearing about.
Points
I'm
to a
not
pile
sure.
of broken statue legs.
Yes. I can't read their labels. I don't know who they were. Because if those were the saints, then our job's already done. We can go home.
Well, Solaire's going to go over and check the labels there.
They are not, in fact, statues to the saints. They are statues to people whose names you do not recognize.
They are nobody's chorus. Not anything
Oh,
you need to worry
okay.
about.
Gotcha.
The
I mean,
town,
they're certainly not somebody's anymore with it being all scattered all over the place. Like, but anyway.
the town hall is a looming building 5 stories high of not very decorative architecture, very severe and practical building materials. And there is a fairly long line going through the double doors before you can get in. A line of maybe 20 people. 20 people from the point where you're actually stepping through the door, spilling out down the stairs and onto the avenue.
I ride by them.
You can ride up the stairs. They're kind of clogging the doorway. They look at you in annoyance and bemusement. They're all just I say ordinary people, but by that I mean like they don't appear to be very richly dressed. You don't see like fancy merchants or anybody who doesn't have the time to just be standing in the middle of a line in the morning. Actually, one little logistical thing. So did you guys like wait at all before going? Because you guys got up at like 4:30 in the morning. So we'll say probably maybe an hour passed for you guys to eat breakfast. Let's just be generous with that.
Well, I suppose it would have made
Professionals
sense
have-
for us to wait till business hours.
Professionals have to get up in the middle of the night. We just understood this.
Their office is open at 7 in the morning. You would have been told, or 9 would have been able to tell you.
I think we should go to their house and wake them up. They're professionals.
In this alternate reality, which may become the main timeline, what do you guys think?
We just wait.
Goris would be arguing the whole time that we should just go wake them up, and then time would pass because he spent all of the time arguing.
So would we just go to the steps and just stand there for 3 hours? 2 hours?
Hour and a half?
Well, maybe there wouldn't be a line then.
You wouldn't have been having to wait for an hour and a half because it would take you a bit of time to get there. If you guys end up going like an hour before anybody shows up, an hour before the office opens, there would be a small crowd outside waiting for the guards to let you through. Stephanie, high or low?
Hi.
There would be like 7 people.
Thank you, Jordan.
Jordan's character.
This is the power of Jordan's character.
Why did they get names and Jordan and I don't?
Because the token's actual name is probably Jordan's character.
No.
What was
A
I?
flutter of mouse cursors, as if anything will change. if you go with it.
Correct. Yes, it is.
It is 7:01 now, and the guards have your conversation. In this alternate timeline, reality just kind of shifts for a moment. May or may not have anything to do with the Arcano side that you now carry. Oh shit. And you suddenly find yourself at the front of a line that you could have sworn was like 20 people long. Time is in fact convoluted. The clerks see you quickly. The fact that there was such a toothsome horse among you, along with a dragonborn, meant that people didn't really want to try to convince you that they should be first in line. The guards...
Not to mention the crazy man covered in bandoliers full of oil. Yeah. I kind of forget that he's like that sometimes.
I completely
Yes,
forgot he was like
excuse me,
that.
I'm here to suicide bomb the capital.
If you are covered in flasks of oil, they're very concerned about that, and they ask you to please leave your oil at the front.
I don't wanna. It's mine. Why should I leave it with you?
That was the scariest voice I've ever heard.
That was Heath Ledger Joker.
Maybe at least put your coat over it or something.
But then I can't pull them out when I need to.
They get really nervous at that. No, you can't be bringing explosive and incineratory things into the town hall. That's a public office. Things that burn, things that explode. There've been explosions lately and burnings lately. We're on the lookout for suspicious personages. We have. Yes.
Like you guards could burn. Why are you allowed inside?
Oh.
Was that a threat?
No, I'm just stating a fact.
Sir, will you please come back here for a search?
I guess so.
They take you to a shed.
Are they actually like holding my shoulders on the way there?
They are going to try to, yes.
Okay.
Is he about to get cavitied?
They will go into the shed with you, and they'll tell you to take all your clothes off.
As soon as the shed door opens, I misty step back to the group.
Blimey, he
Standing back in
disappeared!
line like nothing happened.
The other guards do not take kindly to this, and they lower their spears and tell you all that you are under arrest. This is not the smartest thing they could potentially have done at the moment. There are several dozen guards in the fairly close vicinity, but like they should know better than to think that they can actually hold you at short sword point.
I am completely ignoring all of this and have like trotted separately to go find a clerk and just speak to them. I haven't even looked back.
There are a lot of guards along the avenue. As this happens, the other guards are going to step in the way, and they are going to try to block the precious clerks from your act of vicious terrorism by walking in their general direction on a horse. And there would be 8 guards that would be between you and the building. And if you want to try to get them to move, do you have anything else that you're saying, or would you like to try to intimidate them with your magnificent presence into not standing there? What is your intention?
Can I just adjust my bandoliers of oil to assist in the intimidation?
Though you are probably several yards at least away from him, they're potentially not looking
did he walk
directly at you.
Oh, gotcha.
He just started off down the avenue. Yes, while you guys are,
yes.
we're doing all this time jumping. Let me
That's fine.
reblock. If you were covered in bandoliers of oil, they would not have let you onto the avenue to begin with. Na'ine just set off down the avenue, disregarding them.
Yeah, I'm not with these people.
There are
But
2
I'm not
guards.
with these people so hard, I'm not even saying I'm not with these people.
Right. There are 2 guards who are at the very front, and then there are 8 additional guards along the avenue. There are also probably a dozen guards in the fairly local vicinity, like within earshot at the very least, and probably within sight. And there are 8 guards who are right now standing between 9 and the building.
I'll follow 9 rather than stay back with.
They all just kind of keep they decide to let Ashit and Na'ine go and just kind of keep pointing their weapons at Goras and Salir. And then one of them decides to call the alarm.
I turn us both invisible.
Oh God.
The 2 guards.
I magic my way into this mess. I can magic my way out.
The guards start screaming that they've teleported inside the building. And they decide now that Ashit is the easiest target, they're going to rush at Ashit.
I wasn't with them. I was clearly with the horse guy.
As far as the guards would be concerned, unless you made a concerted effort to not approach at the same time, at, like 6 in the morning, you would be clearly all of one piece.
Why are they not going after 9? He's clearly the bigger threat.
He's considerably far before you, and is clearly the bigger threat. And we are going to end there for tonight. And I'm going to try to figure out what exactly is happening when we play again next week.
Why
We
does
just
everybody go
wanted
after
to
the
go
old
to the
lady?
local cleric office to ask someone a question.
Then suddenly, the Dark Knight.
I'm gonna have to spook all these people.
No, thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you guys very much for playing.
I apologize for derailment by way of bandoliers of oil that I forgot about until we were already at the gate.
Well, this is what we refer to as content